Hello and welcome to the 18th episode of our weekly Unity tip Roundup, where we take a look at the tweets that were posted or mentioned on or around each Tuesday under the Unity tips hashtag. This week was again full of great tips with a lot of really fruitful conversations following. We will mention this a few times in this list, since it always is a good idea to not only look at the tip itself, but also at the comments. In this episode, we gather tweets that were posted, shared or retweeted around 10th of May 2022. This time we start with a tip from Vehicle Physics, our favorite vehicle physics expert on Twitter, and also the creator of Eddie's Vehicle Physics and Vehicle Physics Pro. Currently he is just shy of 2,500 followers. The tip itself is quite straightforward. He shows how to query the input in the update and then process it in FixedUpdate. While this does not go too deep on the reasons, the discussion below it shows that there are some serious knowledge gaps needed to be closed. And Vehicle Physics does a great job explaining every detail. One of the really important lessons is the difference on what to do in the update and what belongs in the FixedUpdate and how these work. We will leave it to you to explore the discussion under this tweet. One of our favorite game developers makes his almost regular appearance. Sunny Valley Studio, also known as Peter, is back with another tip and 734 followers. This time he has something that is a revelation for a lot of developers out there, but is rather simple to achieve. We are talking about the option to simply add the game object to a debug message to get a highlight when clicking on the message in the log. This makes it way easier to keep track of the messages, especially if you have more than one instance of a component in the scene that may produce it. Also, a recurring name is Chronict. He is an asset store publisher since 2015 and has 809 followers. The tip he contributed for this week is a nice speed up for working in the hierarchy view. Did you know that pressing the Alt button and clicking on an entry will completely expand or collapse the elements below it? That is very useful to quickly open or close a lot of items. You can even do this with the left and right arrow keys while pressing Alt. We always like seeing the Unity developers in our roundup. This time it is Carl, who is a senior software developer at Unity, working on UI and localization tools. He has almost 1,300 followers. Fitting his role as a senior developer, his tip is quite advanced. If you need to get internal access to a Unity package without using reflection, he has a solution. With an assembly reference file that points to the one you want access to, you can then implement your scripts in that folder and gain access. Those scripts will be compiled as part of the targeted assembly. Shane is an evolutionary robotics researcher with a hang for virtual toys. He has 2,199 followers. Maybe one of you can be the 2,200th? Since we already had one of the more in-depth tips right before this one, we found it quite fitting to add another more complex one to the list. Shane's tip is about getting allocationless enumerators. If you are into optimizing, this will be definitely a good tip to read. Since it is a longer explanation which you can find in the image, we will only refer you to read it at this point and not go into all the details here. Last week our own tip was sadly a bit flawed, with one of our suggested solutions being wrong. Coming from that experience, we were more than happy to see that our current tip gained so much traction and withstood all the rigorous questioning that happened in the comments. As we just said, the comment section was very active on this one. And it all started with a small innocent tip on how to determine if an object's position is in front of another object in regards to its local z-axis by transforming one object's position into the local space of the other one. This started a huge discussion about the performance of our and other solutions, and we could show, with some performance testing and profiling, that using the method we recommended was a lot faster. Check out the comments to see our nice performance graphs for each of the questions that came up. Well, we would love to go even deeper into all the nice discussions that evolved under the tips for this week, but we are trying to keep the length of this video in a reasonable range. Again, we cannot emphasize enough how important the community is. Not only the creators that write the tips, like the 5 we had this week, but also the countless users that ask important questions or propose faster, nicer or simpler solutions to the problems. In any case, show them your appreciation by leaving a follow and a like here and there. And if you are still looking for a creator to show some love, we humbly hint at our own channel, which you could check out. And while you are there, you could consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to also get notifications. For any questions, comments, recommendations or requests, please use the comment section. Thank you for your time and see you next week.